Sattvam rajastam iti guna prakriti sambhava nibandhantanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. Translation purpose and Vaishnava Bhagavad, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So, as you all said, this is a very important verse, and we keep talking about modes. But today, out of interest, I'll again go technical, and what Bhagavatam talks about this, which whatever I know, or whichever I come to my study, and share my realizations. So what we discussed is how we are affected by modes, how modes working on us, how to come out of modes, and what modes can do, and coming out of modes is transcendence and all those things. But today I want to discuss, because Krishna is talking about material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. Sattvam, rajastam. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, so when it happens, when the eternal entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by this mode. So again, very important words, Mahabaho. Means you may be very powerful person, but when you come in contact, we come under control of modes. The interesting part here I wanted to discuss is that from where these modes come. I'm talking about, again, going back to Sankhya philosophy, where Kapil Muni is talking about this, and hopefully I make sense to all of you, because everything is being created at different stages, creation, sub-creation, and all those things happening here. And I remember this realization came to my mind. Again, credit goes to Amrish Prabhu, his generosity. He was giving a class on Bhagavatam in temple, and I was in that class. And we talked about these very important topics, and explained very nicely, and that stuck in my head. And after that, I kept trying to read and understand. I try to share whatever I remember. That verse is from Canto 3, chapter 26, which is fundamental principles of material nature. What we're studying here is three modes of material nature. That's good fundamental of material nature, which is the instruction or information given by Kapil Muni to his mother when she asked so many questions. And in the discussion, there's a lot of discussion here where the creation is happening, sub-creation happening, and all those senses are coming in existence. And this is, the mind is the source of everything. No, the mind comes under control of these modes, and we start. So this verse is talking about how mind came into existence. What is mind made of? I have had this discussion, and that's so important that to understand, and it gives such analytical knowledge, because we're all trying to be a preacher, no? So we need to know all this information, and based on our surrender, I suppose, we understand the knowledge. Otherwise, the knowledge comes and knowledge goes from ISKCON to the second Khan. Okay, that famous verse is, I will quickly read. Vaikarikad vikurvaranam manastatvam ajayata yata sankalpa vikalpabhyam vartate kama sambhavaha vaikarikadika kurvanam manastatvam ajayata yata sankalpa vikalpabhyam vartate kama sambhavaha. Kama sambhava. Yeah? That's where everything starts. So translation by Srila Prabhupada. From the false ego of goodness, another transformation takes place. From this evolves the mind, whose thoughts and reflection give rise to desire. I hope you've heard it very carefully. From the false ego of goodness, another transformation takes place. From this evolves the mind, whose thoughts and reflection give rise to desire. So mind comes out false ego of goodness. It's the product of goodness. Okay, and a very nice and brief purport, which will further elaborate and will relate all those, that how means what the we all call this. No, we all talk about this. Mind is storehouse of desires, so storehouse of desires, whose thoughts and reflections give rise to desire. And desire, yeah, they keep coming. Good ideas, bad ideas. No, when the mind comes to existence, this all happen, and you all know what mind does. Yeah, out of yeah. So the symptom of the mind are determination and rejection. That's what mind does, determination, rejection, which are due to different kinds of desires. The source of everything is desire, and desire we all know is product of false ego. We desire that which is favorable to our sense gratification, and we reject that which is not favorable to sense gratification. The material mind is not fixed, but the very same mind can be fixed when engaged in the activities of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, as long as the mind is on the platform, on the material platform, it is hovering, and all this rejection and acceptance is asat, temporary. We all experience this, no, keep coming and going backward. We're not stable. Now the punchline. It is stated that he whose mind is not fixed in Krishna consciousness must hover between acceptance and rejection. Confused people, no? However advanced a man is in academic qualification, as long as he is not fixed in Krishna consciousness, he will simply accept and reject and will never be able to fix his mind on a particular subject matter. That's the problem who's not Krishna conscious. His intelligence always bewildered. They can never focus. But when the mind comes into existence, is all the senses are coming in this chapter. All the senses are coming into existence, and uh, that's where mind is coming into existence. And then what mind does, and after that, creation keeps continuing. And further, depending upon how the discussion goes, we can talk more about this creation part, because that's where Krishna is trying to explain this to Arjuna, so that he can actually understand this knowledge, so that he can come out of the modes and he can actually perform his duty. Same with us, same with all of us. I don't know whether Amrishwar is listening to this or not, but it's being recorded. So the conversation which came out of this verse was, we talk about material mind. Yeah, this is all material mind, which is accepting, rejecting. So there is a spiritual mind also. The mind which becomes spiritual, or the spiritual mind also, because when we go back to Godhead, that mind also goes with us. That's what I remember. I may be wrong. And that we have a very long discussion on this with Amrish Prabhu on spiritual mind, that how it happens and what is this like. So that's the information I wanted to share with all of you, because we know the modes, but and after this the modes come into existence, no, that everything start happening, and because they are in a lump, no, in a form, and then it is all in avyaktam form. They're all getting manifesting step by step. So I thought I'll share this realization, and if Amrish was there, we can probably ask him more about that spiritual mind if time allows, but maybe some other time. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, your devotees. I can hear. We're just on transit now in Singapore.
I know that.
I'm just having some prasadam now. So it's okay. We are here. So if we can share realizations. And if you have any questions,
Prabhu,
welcome.
you remember this discussion? I know you have a lot of discussion with a lot of people, and
Yes.
you were very generous in giving information that time, Prabhuji. And I remember in that class, not many people were there, but you very elaborately spoke on this topic. And I know you are traveling; you're in a different time zone as well. So if you can talk about the spiritual mind part of it, or just for us to brush up. For me, actually, I don't know about others,
Okay.
and that will be helpful, Prabhu.
So
If not,
everyone,
we can
I
talk
just
about when
came.
you're settled down, Prabhu.
No problem. So everyone, I just joined a bit late. So has everyone else has given the realizations?
Yes, I have given relation, so I'll ask other devotees. Anybody else want to give relation? Mataji or
Yeah, please,
actually?
please, they can speak now. Not that they should not speak now. I can answer afterwards, everyone.
Yes, Prabhu.
So no problem.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I think you should speak, Prabhu. Mataji is not speaking, and I don't have patience like you.
Okay, just give me a couple of seconds, please. Sorry, I had my mouth full. Hold on. Hare Krishna, devotees. So please excuse me. We're sorry we have not been able to attend the whole program. We just had gone out. We just entered back in our room, and just when I could join, I was having some difficulty with the Wi-Fi here. So all of you can hear me, listen to me all right? My voice is okay?
Yes, absolutely crystal clear, Prabhu. Somebody.
Yeah, sure, I will be there.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
So,
Very clear.
so spiritual mind, we say that mind is subtle body, which is material. And once the soul leaves the material world and goes to the spiritual world, then there is no need for the mind. That is true. There is spiritual mind. Now we've got just like material mind, material intelligence, and material ego. We have got spiritual mind, spiritual intelligence, and spiritual ego. Now we have to be a little careful that we should not jump to this knowledge to the time that we have come to the basic steps before, As last week we were discussing the benchmarks. But this question that has been raised is very nice, and it will focus to that point only about the mind, spiritual mind. So just like we have got the material senses, and we understand that this material body is like a covering of the spiritual body. So similarly, the material body has got senses. Spiritual body also has its spiritual senses. It is through these spiritual senses that the spiritual body is constantly interacting and serving Krishna. And this interaction of the spiritual body with spiritual senses and spiritual activities also generates desires, which is our real desires. The moment we are covering of the material body, the desires become contaminated. And at this stage, when the desires are completely purified and thinking about Krishna, then those desires act, and that becomes our spiritual mind because it becomes the storehouse of spiritual desires. It's simple as that. Very simple logical explanation. There are other deeper explanations too, but this is how we can understand with the current knowledge. Is it okay? What I explained, is it okay? Did I point out these points?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Yes.
So we have also got senses, because I remember we had discussion when only living not so when the subtle body is gone, gross body is gone, and the spirit soul, in fact, soul goes into the golok, or yeah, or spiritual world. Then we get a body, and body is not made of all these things. It's made of Sachidanand. So the mind, the intelligence, or even subtle and gross body, if spiritual, we can call it spiritual, is that's also made of Satchit Anand, Prabhu.
Yes, that is Satchidananda only. Spiritual body is made up of Satchit and Ananda only. Because
So
Krishna's body is made of Satchitananda.
yes,
The spirit soul is Satchitananda, but in minor proportion.
that is our perfection. That's what.
So that is our realization that when we come out of the material thinking, then this is our real true identity. And when we sit on this platform in this material world, that is when we are revealed our spiritual identity, our Swarup, Siddha Swarup.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, one more thing I wanted to share with you, but when after talking to you, that answer probably has come to my mind, because as we grow older, our gross body ages. Okay, our senses becomes weak, our body parts become weak, and all those things, aging, because of aging or whatever reason. What the subtle body, like the mind, the intelligence, the ego. I not, yeah. I have seen that older people have still their desire, they still have mind. The mind will work, but their body will not work. Their memory will go because their other senses are not working. But when I was talking to you that okay, subtle body is made of these, is also made of these elements, which we talk about, 24 elements. But even that subtle body has got a age, Prabhu, because it also is annihilated. So am I right, Prabhu? It's not like that mind will not get old, or intelligence will not get old. It also get old as we actually.
No. Mind intelligence is subtle, sukshma. So the body which is gross and sukshma, the difference between gross and sukshma or subtle is this only, that the gross body is prone to birth, old age, deterioration. Subtle body is not. It is just a mechanism. Subtle body is a mechanism. Okay, where the interaction of the different material bodies that we have got, which interacts with matter and keeps getting information to itself, which remains in the subtle body, which is called mind. And when this, depending upon our desires that we have got as per the gross body, we get the next gross body. So the subtle body continues unlimited.
Subtle body is unlimited. That's what my question was.
Yes, it continues in the material world unlimited. It doesn't mean to say that now the memory is full. There is no memory.
This is a subtle body, is a material part of material creation. As we
Yes, yes,
Kapil Muni talks about this. So if it is
yeah.
material creation, then it must have an age, Prabhu. It must be annihilated or
It
something.
doesn't die. Probably subtle body doesn't die. This is called subtle. No? So from the gross body, the soul is picked up from the gross body, one body, it goes to the next gross body. Correct? This if we have understood this, we say
Yes,
that
yes. So soul is eternal, but subtle body is eternal. That's something I'm trying to
no, it's
articulate.
not eternal. It is existing. It is not that the material what you are saying is that the material body has got its birth, death, yeah, birth, old age, and death. The subtle body is not birth, old age, and death. It is a gross body is a mechanism, okay, through which we are interacting with matter. Subtle body is the mechanism by which that matter information that we have got is used. And in each different bodies that we get, we use the subtle body to continue with our previous gross body, our experiences. And there is a reason why the same scene you see, you may interpret in a different way, and I see, I may interpret in a different way. ठीक, और अपना लाइक्स एंड डिसलाइक्स होते हैं, फिर अपने मटेरियल वेल्थ अलग अलग होते हैं, ठीक है। सो वो बॉडी हम कहते हैं इट्स अ कवरिंग, सटल बॉडी इज अ कवरिंग which we've got, which is always existing till the time that the body is in the material world, the soul is in the material
Okay, yeah, got it, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
world.
Till the material
And
body.
yeah, yeah. And in the body of Mahavishnu, it may not be needed. That's all right. But then it is a long trillions of births situation. So it becomes too much. But for this information here, that the gross body can born and die, the subtle body does not born and die. The subtle body is it takes the soul from one body, gross body to another gross body. And it is that mechanism which is, gives you continuity. Basically, for example, in this body, gross body, I must have done and I'm doing so many actions which will give me reactions or no reactions or whatever it is. So till the time that my body, I'm not qualified enough not to take another birth. As if I'm forced to take another birth in another body, it is a subtle body which is a link from this body to the next body, which takes you, okay, you have done this past deed, now suffer, or you enjoy in next body. So this is how through our millions of lifetimes we get our enjoyment and suffering. It is this that mind and intelligence are working, and it will not be dead. It will be finished when the body when the material body and the subtle body is not needed. The soul is ready to go back to Godhead. Yeah. So Maharaj would say this, that unless our subtle body is aligned with the soul, it is very difficult to get our gross body to align with our soul.
नहीं समझा Prabhu.
हाँ, तो सटल बॉडी के जो नीड्स होते हैं ना, जो सटल बॉडी ये बॉडी में हमने एंजॉयमेंट किया, प्लानिंग किया, डिजायर्स रखे, ठीक है, वो बात समझ में बहुत सिंपल बात है, बराबर ना। सो उस हिसाब से on that basis we get the next body, correct? That is the basic concept we understand, correct? All of you understand this
Yes.
point? Yeah. So it is this connecting link for us which gives us the enjoyment and suffering in the next body or the body afterwards. But it is a Paramatma, super soul in the heart, which gives us to say कि now तुम्हारा ये आएगा, वो सब वो कर्म आएगा तुम्हारा, फिर एंजॉय करना पड़ेगा या सफर करना पड़ेगा. So all these mechanisms are working within us, but the birth and the death is of the gross body, not of the subtle body. Subtle body is a treasure house of desire. Mind is a treasure house of all the desires. That means the senses are interacting with matter, they're getting information of the matter, it is stored in the mind. So in this body, current body that we have got interacting with matter is stored in our mind. In the past also, the subtle body, the gross body which is interacting with matter, made our desire, is in our mind. So mind is a continuity which remains. To the time that we don't need the mind to go with the spiritual. This is only material mind. ये बात clear हुई? Did I explain this point to you?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. जरा इसको सोचिएगा. It's a little paradigm thinking, you know. But you'll understand these concepts. Yes, sir. But material, spiritual mind is a very different ball game. It's the opposite of that. And all of us have got spiritual mind also, but it's got nothing to do with matter. It's spiritual matter. Yeah. And the first step of reclaiming our senses out of the material world, material body, is to understand our subtle body with mind and intelligence. And once we are understanding these two things, mind and intelligence, then once that is aligned with our spirit soul's needs, then this mind and intelligence will force our gross body to stop interacting with matter and use it for the spirit soul's body.
Makes sense, bro.
So that is the reason why जो लोग ये एक्शन में होते हैं ना, तो ये बात समझ गए आप? You understood this point? Was I clear in my limited capacity to explain this point, Prabhuji?
I understood, bro. Yes, bro. Yes.
Yeah. So इसी वजह से जो लोग थोड़े एडवांस होते हैं ना, who are in this process of mind and intelligence, उनका वॉर अलग होता है. तभी हम कहते हैं ना कि आप अंदर देखो, वॉर अंदर है, हमारे अंदर है. मतलब माइंड और इंटेलिजेंस को अलाइन करना है स्पिरिट सोल के साथ. दैट इज आवर मेन वॉर. सो जो ग्रॉस बॉडी में उलझे होते हैं, मुझे खाना तो चाहिए ही चाहिए, मुझे तो ये मीठा चाहिए ही चाहिए, मुझे नमकीन चाहिए ही चाहिए, वरना कैसे खाऊंगा, मुझे लड़की चाहिए, मुझे जेंट्स चाहिए, मुझे दारू पीना चाहिए. वो ज्यादा ग्रॉस, ये इतने लेवल्स पर हमारे we are connected with matter. They have a complete gross of sex and food and intoxication become the subtle way also. With our gross senses are connected with subtle way. So you may think that, oh, I don't agree with this, I agree with that. That may not be even on the subtle platform. That is still on the gross platform, because the gross ego is not allowing us to see what is true. ठीक है ना? So when those sadhu purush who are on the platform of fighting their battle on their mind and intelligence platform, subtle platform, it's a material, subtle platform, then what we ask them a question, तो साधु को मिलते हैं ना, and if they give an answer, would they give an answer not of current answer or the current question, they may give answer of current and the future questions that may arise. तो थोड़ा समय लगता है हमें to understand this and digest the points. So this is how हम साधु की परख कर सकते हैं. और जो लोग spiritual, when they are in the spiritual platform completely, they are not preaching at all, they don't give any instruction. They say, yeah, you are right, you are best, तुम कर रहे हो, तुम भक्ति हो, मैं भक्त नहीं हूँ, तुम भक्त. Because they have seen how grossly they have misbehaved while in this material body, and how subtle body was completely obnoxious in its interaction and getting information accepted. They said, मेरा तो हैसियत ही नहीं है कुछ बहुत पीछे करने का, भगवान की बात करने का. आपकी हैसियत है, आप ही करोगे. And they are aloof of everything. ठीक है?
Thank you, Vishnu.
Are you sure? Is it okay? What I explained was okay? Because I've got very limited capacity.
No, bro. You give me a fundamental answer to this question. I'll keep thinking. And yes, it's all about controlling our mind and controlling intelligence and desire and everything. You have told me that this has to be done by yogic process and all those things, step by step progress. And that's what austerity. That's why austerity we have to do. And
yes, correct.
And when the higher taste develop, then things. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. So what we discussed today is that how the higher tastes develop. ठीक है ना? And जो हम पहले बात करते थे, हमारी अलग से बात हुई, वो नहीं करना. But generally जब हम कहते हैं कि we have to change our taste, we have to stop enjoying senses and all those things. तो वो ग्रॉस लेवल पर बात करते हैं. अभी हमने थोड़ी सी सटल लेवल पर बात करने की कोशिश की. ठीक है. तो साधु किस रूप में आ जाता है वो समझेगा ही नहीं. हमको लगता है कि साधु आएगा तो उसको यही पहनना चाहिए, धोती पहननी चाहिए, ये ऐसे पहनना चाहिए. वेरी डिफरेंट ही इज. साधु वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट. ठीक है ना?
Thank you. Thank you.
एक एग्जांपल मैं दूंगा. We'll finish the discussion by that point. If you remember, we had discussed this point, I think one of the programs, where I said that Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, I think it was Dhruv Maharaj. He one day he took his confidential servitors. He was a king, big king. So he's minister, and he went on a tour of the world, of earth. तो उसमें उन्होंने देखा कि एक आदमी के पास एक आदमी बैठा था. He was like a python. वो उठता भी नहीं था, जमीन में ही पड़ा रहा था और मोटा हो गया था. He was fat. And he observed that this fat guy, people would come to him, give him food, he would sit and eat food. मस्त खाता था, काम करता नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं करता था. So initially they thought कि ये तो it's like भोगी है ये, काम कुछ करता नहीं है और लोग खाने को देते हैं, बस खाता है वो और मोटा हो गया है वो. He rolls in the on the ground. So naturally we will think like this, but not for him, not for Guru Maharaj. He was very clever. He understood him very well. So he asked him some pointed questions. So उसमें इसने आंसर दिया कि मैं क्या, मुझे कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं इधर ही बैठता हूँ, लोग मुझे खाने को देते हैं, मैं खाता हूँ, मैं चलता भी नहीं, हिलता भी नहीं. ठीक है, उतना उसने बताया. तो उससे ये बात समझ में आती है हमको भागवतम से कि जो ही इज द वन, जैसे हमने सुदामा विप्रा के बारे में पढ़ा था, दैट those who accept things as they come on its own accord, yeah, and do not work extra endeavor to perform, is very dear to me. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. तो ये वो करता था. So he was on a very high level platform. तो समझ गए वो, ये अलग ही है. तो कई दफे मैं एग्जाम्पल इसलिए दे रहा हूँ, कई दफे हमें we think that only when somebody is very shows he's very austere, or he is dresses in a particular way, or speaks in a particular way, only then he is very advanced, and they very eloquently they speak. But actually, he may be trained, getting trained to speak in a particular way of compassion and all that. We don't see Srila Prabhupada speak in a very compassionate way, or Guru Maharaj speak in a very compassionate way. They just speak like that. They're pretty harsh also. So हमें ये दूरदर्शिता देखनी चाहिए, और वो तभी आएगी when we are at the subtle level fighting our battles of controlling the senses, of controlling the mind, of attaching the mind and intelligence to the spirit soul. Then we will force the mind and intelligence will force our gross body to act accordingly. कि यहाँ से निकलो, वहां से निकलो, ये छोड़ो, वो छोड़ो, और चलो यहाँ पर. वार्निंग साइन आ गई है ना, छोड़ दो उसको. परीक्षित महाराज में वार्निंग साइन दे दीजिए, 7 दिन में हम मरने वाले हैं, तो लेफ्ट एवरीथिंग. सो हमारे भी शरीर में या माइंड में कुछ वार्निंग साइन आ जाती है, तो छोड़ दीजिए उसको, मटेरियल. दैट इज अवर वे ऑफ गोइंग ऑन टू गॉड. ठीक है, एंड इट इज वेरी वेरी रेयर. इसीलिए कृष्णा से कि मनुष्य नाम सहस्रेषु भक्ति सिद्धि, बहुत कम लोग ऐसा काम करते हैं. ये समझ में आएगा ही नहीं. भक्ति भी करने के लिए बहुत कम लोग आएंगे, और उससे भी एकदम कम ये कंट्रोल करने वाले लोग होंगे. बहुत मुश्किल है ये काम. ठीक है प्रभु जी.
Yes, bro. Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nicely explained.
Thank you very much for the opportunity for me to think like this. And please verify whatever I'm saying is correct or not. It is up to you. Do not blindly follow me, because I'm conditioned and I've got my limitations also, And yeah, that's what I want to say. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. If anyone else also wants to say anything, please feel free. What is the time now? It is time to complete the Krishna conversation, the program.
Yes, bro. यहाँ का टाइम हो गया 8:34 PM हो गया यहाँ पे, bro.
Okay, 34 हो गए. अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है. So anyone wants to say anything before we conclude today? Or any questions to the previous speakers which I have not heard? Please excuse me once again. If you have any queries from what points they have raised. Okay, so Hare Krishna, thank you very much for your time. So it is very, very imperative. This is the reason why we find that not all devotees would go and interact with all devotees, although everyone is a devotee. ठीक है ना? So this is where at certain stage we have to discriminate to say भाई किसे कितनी बात करनी है, किसे कितना उलझना है, इतना उलझना भी नहीं है ना. And our foundation should be on philosophical understanding and implementation in our life. That is our core philosophy in Hare Krishna WECAN programs. We want everybody to study this philosophy of Srila Prabhupada, and with calm mind, cool mind, we must sit and think, especially during the festival days. हम लोग यहाँ भागते हैं ये देखते हैं, अभिषेक देखते हैं, मंदिर जाते हैं, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, पर क्या सीखा हमने, ये हमें तय करना है, आपको तय करना है. आपने अगर वो गए, मंदिर में गए, अभिषेक देखा, या किधर भी गए, घर पे अभिषेक किया आपने, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं. या फिर हमने अभी जो बात की है डिस्कशन, दोनों में से कहाँ ज्यादा सीखा आपने? हाँ, दोनों में सीख तो है, नो डाउट अबाउट इट, पर वो स्टेप लेवल कितना आगे बढ़ा आपका, which made you think. That is called thinking and purifying our thinking and our actions, and that is our need. और उसके पीछे भागो, ये मेरा अभिप्राय है. my अभिप्राय क्या कहते हैं इंग्लिश में? This is my
purpose, bro. That's my purpose.
Opinion. Yeah, this is my opinion. This is my personal opinion, that this is how we have to be very particular about how we are going to get our knowledge. Otherwise, we will keep doing the same thing. If you keep doing the same thing, you are going to get the same results. So the result is this, that okay, I'm not going to concentrate, then the same results you're doing, action you're doing, it will be the same results. What is it? And that is the purpose of our Hare Krishna WECAN program. This is very, very rare. And I know we will have only less people, because ये सोचने वाले बहुत कम लोग होंगे. लोग चलो मार्केट में they are more of the crowd people, बैठ के सुनने वाले लोग हैं, खाना खाने वाले लोग हैं, प्रसाद खा के जाने वाले लोग हैं. वो भी बहुत बड़ी बात है भक्त बनने के लिए, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसमें, पर it will be still, it will take a bit more time. ठीक है ना? So we all have to be very pure devotees, and there is no excuse we should not be pure devotees. Do not think that only few people can be pure devotees. There is a completely wrong thinking, and it is an insult to Srila Prabhupada books and teachings, that only by reading his books only few people can become pure devotees. He has written the books so that everybody can become pure devotees. आज जो हमने बात की है, ये हमें सोचनी चाहिए. जो प्रश्न पूछा, लास्ट वीक भी प्रश्न पूछा था, हमारी बात हुई थी. We must think about it. If you do not have the time to listen to it again, it is your own problem. And I can guarantee you, you will do the same thing again and again and again and again. And after 20 years, you say the same thing. But what do I do? My mind is control, not control. And you'll find somebody else's mind is control. All the best. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki Jai. Granth Raj
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Hare.
Shri
Jai.
Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Jai.
Jai. Shri
Jai.
Gurudev ki Jai. What
Jai.
was synonymous, translations and purpose by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande.
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Hare Bol.
Please keep these
Hare
questions
Hare
coming.
Krishna.
Please keep this. Yes, you see, this kind of questions gives us a very different, even for me, it's a very different level of understanding, for myself too. So please keep the questions running. It's benefiting everyone, including me. In fact, it benefits me the most. तो अगर मैंने कुछ पढ़ा होगा तो मैं भी भूल नहीं जाऊं उसको, गधे के जैसा. So it's my benefit. Thank you very much. Shila Gurudev ki jai.
Thank you, brother. Yeah,
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
bro.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
See you tomorrow.